What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Sorry for my tardiness. Hopefully, everybody's doing good. I had posted a video a couple of hours ago about Keith Edwards whining because people are calling him out for his racist, misogynistic comments against Jasmine Crockett. And I kind of wanted to dive deeper into this because it seems like since Jasmine Crockett announced that she was running, people have had an issue with it. I don't understand why people have an issue with someone running in a primary. That's the point. And also, you should criticize a person during the primary so we end up picking the right person, right? However, since day one of Jasmine Crockett's announcement, it has been this barrage of different articles saying that she supports Israel, she's pro-Palestine, pro-Israel. She votes for Israel. She takes AIPAC money. A lot of that stuff was either misinformation or just a complete flat out lie. And one thing, she doesn't take money from AIPAC. But again, does the average Texan voter care about AIPAC or not? No, they don't. Let's go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up? Cut the chit chat. I like that name. What's up, Kay? I see that you made sure to put the AT2. What's up, beautiful? Shout out to all my members, by the way. I love seeing y'all here. Shout out to Denitria. Thank you for holding it down for the mods. I appreciate that. All right. So again, there's a lot of conversation about Jasmine Crockett. It seems like everybody has been trying to take her out before she even starts. Like, really, the lady just announced last week, and there's already opposition research done. And I can't say by the Republicans, it's being done by these crazy leftists. And it's this conversation about, oh, we want James Talarico. Okay, well, if it's going to be James Talarico, it will be him. Like, you don't have to force anything. You don't have to try to slander somebody. If he's the guy, he's the guy. But at the end of the day, Jasmine Crockett is just getting railroaded for no reason. It's like y'all loved her when she was going after the Republicans and Marjorie Taylor Greene, but how dare you go against another man who's running for Senate, even though that's what you're supposed to do during a primary. You're supposed to go against the other person. But I digress. I wanted to start out with this account right here. Let me go ahead and pull it up. This is this rogue DNC account. And the reason why I'm calling them out is because the first day Jasmine Crockett announced her run, they were already ready. And as you see here, there's a whole bunch of stuff about Jasmine Crockett. Hold on, let's go down to when she first announced, because I want to show you guys the hypocrisy. Here we go. So this was the post about the announcement, right? She announced she was running for Senate. Then, within the same hour, they posted this, and only partial of the clip.
Started out tonight by repeating this refrain that Israel has a right to defend itself. Israel has just invaded Lebanon. Israel is now intimating that it could attack Iran. So shouldn't we be looking for a little more than just these platitudes about Israel having a right to defend itself? What is the limiting principle, especially when the U.S. is the one providing the armaments for Israel to wage these military campaigns, as you know, having voted for the National Security Supplemental back in April, which underwrote Israel's war effort?
I absolutely did vote for it. I voted for that along with every other supplemental that was available. And I will tell you this. It is important that people understand what diplomacy looks like. And it looks like the fact that this relationship between Israel and the United States has existed since before I was born. And guess what? This relationship will continue on in perpetuity even after I'm gone.
Congresswoman, Governor Walz.
So see where they cut it off right there? So then when they were getting backlash, they're like, oh, all right, well, I guess we'll post the whole thing. But mind you, before we get there, they're propping up Talarico, James Talarico. We will treat Rep. Crockett with the utmost respect because he had to issue a statement the same day that Jasmine Crockett announced her candidacy. He had to release a statement telling people to respect her because they were coming at her. This is how you know it's a problem. So we scroll up to where after they start getting backlash, they post another clip.
Over into Israel.
After Israel invaded Lebanon.
Okay. But is Iran Lebanon or is Iran?
No.
Okay.
But this thing, it's a spiraling catastrophe that the Biden administration has done nothing to rein in.
Let's be clear. When the attacks, which I will say, everything that happened in Lebanon or the initial attacks, at least that was more calculated, and it was more. It was specifically intended for who? For terrorists, correct? I mean, these are
You got to clarify what you're saying. I don't follow.
Hezbollah.
Right.
So Israel was attacking Hezbollah, correct?
Well, they've done a ground invasion into Lebanon now.
They have now done one, but to be clear, they were attacking Hezbollah, who is a terrorist organization, correct?
They've invaded the entire country. They bombed Beirut. They've bombed the country.
Okay,
So you think everybody who's been killed in the Israeli bombardments has been Hezbollah?
I didn't say that. I'm
Okay.
telling you that what I am saying is that at least when Lebanon, we talked about what? They had the pagers, correct?
Right.
And so they were literally more calculated in trying not to do.
Those pages blew up in grocery stores, and a little girl was killed.
I understand, and I'm not disagreeing with that. And I want to be clear. No one should ever be okay with war.
You voted to fund it.
No, I did not vote to fund war. What I voted for.
Yes, you did. You voted to supply Israel with armaments that they're using in their prosecution of the war.
Do you understand that we took more than one vote? Let me ask you, since you know about.
I know all about it. I follow it very closely.
So tell me about the rest of my votes.
On the National Security Supplemental?
Can you tell me about all the votes that we had? Because we had.
Yeah, you voted for Ukraine, for the Indo-Pacific, for.
Because we had 3 votes on Israel.
There have been like 1 million votes on Israel.
We had 3 votes. Let me clarify. We had 3 votes as it relates to funding for Israel. So let me make sure that your record is very clear. The very first vote was to fund Israel and defund the IRS because that's what the Republicans put on the floor. That because the Republicans run the House. Okay. What was my vote? It was a no.
No.
Then
we ultimately voted yes on the bill to fund Israel.
The second vote was to fund Israel and no other funding. Okay. The third vote, was it just for funding Israel or was it also to get money to the people of Gaza?
And that aid has been consistently blocked. I mean, you can complain about Netanyahu, but he's the one administering the funding that you said. This is about the debate.
So that ugly motherfucker was obviously trying to antagonize Jasmine Crockett. But as she was explaining, that's why I wanted to get to the end. As she was explaining, like originally the bill, she voted no. Then the second time she voted no. Then she voted for a third time yes. Now, what it is that he's trying to say, oh, well, you still voted for it. Listen, the Republicans control the House. There was no way of going around funding Israel. They kept putting that on the floor. And so essentially how Congress works, you have to come to a happy medium and be like, all right, so we'll go ahead and do this as long as we get that. And so what she was saying is that, yeah, so I made sure that we also got aid to Gaza as well. And then that's when he started going out, oh, we're blocking aid. And like, she's not saying that that's okay at all. But what she's telling you is that that's one of the reasons why she eventually came around and voted for it for a third time. But again, the rogue DNC account, they did not play that the first time. They just let that clip, they just shortened that clip right there just to make it seem like it was. And then regarding the attack on Lebanon, what she was saying was that that was a targeted attack. That wasn't them just dropping bombs like they usually do on Gaza. And as you kept hearing her say, she's not saying that it's okay at all. That's never what she is saying. And so now she's getting backlash because she called people intellectually lazy.
One more. The criticism where some people have said, I know you've seen it on social media, where people are saying that some of them aren't going to vote for you because of this pro-Israel stance. What do you have to say about that?
What I have to say is that people need to start to do their research and stop falling for the clickbait. Listen, if you loved me before, then what has changed? You can always look at my voting record and know what it is that I have and haven't voted for. But it's quite intellectually lazy if you just sit there and let somebody else tell you something and you don't go and get the full picture. You can always look at my FEC filings and find whatever information it is that you seek. So what I will tell you is that I'm not going to be distracted, because at the end of the day, I can tell you that Texans are concerned about the fact that we lead in uninsured in this country. I can tell you that Texans are concerned because right now jobs are few. I can tell you that Texans are concerned because they can't afford childcare. I can tell you that Texans are concerned because hospitals are about to close down. And if you have questions, then you should just go and look at my record. I have nothing to hide. I wouldn't be running for office if I had anything to hide. But what I'm not going to do is allow people to sit here and have me on the defensive about something that they don't even know what they're talking about, because it is very easy to look up who is endorsed by who and to figure that out. That is intellectually lazy for you not to just go and look who has been endorsed.
I know you're focused on.
There we go. But let me tell you guys something. So this is, again, that rogue DNC. Crockett talks about the latest wave of criticism for her support for the HR 8034 that she calls clickbait. And then they put a quote from Zohran Mamdani, the new mayor-elect. We as politicians need to lecture less and listen more. Well, I think the people questioning her need to listen more, because she explained it up and down sideways of how the vote actually went. But again, they keep on saying, oh, you support Israel, you support Israel. And it's all like, are you missing the fucking point? So, because they were getting more backlash, they have posted this. Let me go ahead and blow it up. So what they decided to do was post criticism for both candidates, because people were calling out like, hey, well, James Talarico took money from Miriam Elderson, the same woman that gave Trump over $100 million for his campaign. And so I'm not going to read all of this, but I wanted you guys to see this part right here. Hold on. Okay, here we go. It says, note, Crockett voted yes on both HR 2882 and HR 815 that had language to limit the UNRWA funding, but were part of the broader funding bill. There is no standalone UNRWA funding bill. However, all members of the squad voted against this. Talking about AOC and them, like, oh, well, they voted no, but Crockett voted yes. And then it says, another note, speaking about policy is not racist, do better. No one cares that you're speaking on policy or not. The problem is that you guys have a double standard with this woman, because why this whole time y'all been glazing Talarico, and then just decided that same day, oh, okay, well, we'll post about him too. But mind you, Talarico has been running for 2 months, or preparing to run, right? For the last couple of months. But as soon as Jasmine Crockett announces, you guys are cool with that. You guys have been on the attack since then. So it's definitely a double standard. Criticism, everybody should get that. I don't see anything wrong with that. Everybody should be criticized. But if you're going to make the whole argument, this whole, oh, she's a bad person, are we serious? And let's say something too, because Talarico is a state representative, right? He's the state senate. A state senate. And Jasmine Crockett is the congresswoman for the district in Dallas, I believe. well, I know it's the Dallas area, but I know it covers more, right? Her position has been gerrymandered, or her seat has been gerrymandered, right? Her seat is now not even, it's not there. It's not there no more. So she basically had a decision to whether or not she was going to run in a gerrymandered district. Ooh, that's a strong word. Gerrymandered district, or if she was going to run for the Senate. So she decided, you know what? I'm going to run for the Senate because a couple of things that you need to run. Now, of course, you need policies. Let's not even pretend like, oh, you don't need any policies. No, you need policies, but you need name recognition and you need to be able to get funding. Talarico, I don't know if this same man can get funding. I don't know. I think that Talarico, what I've seen, he seems like a good dude. I did watch the Jubilee. I can't play it for you guys. The Jubilee, he did like 1 versus 20 undecided voters or whatnot. I thought it was very good. However, I don't know if he has the name recognition and that he's able to get funding. You're either going to go against Ken Paxton, has a lot of money. He's not a billionaire, but he has millions, right? And then you have John Cornyn, the incumbent. If he ends up getting the ticket, you have him, and he's well funded. So you need somebody who's able to get the funding. But also, there's been this talk about James Talarico. He can get Trump voters. I want to let you guys know something. Those Trump voters, aka white voters, that's what they're really translating to. Those Trump/white voters, you're not going to get them. You guys tried that with Kamala and it did not work. If you run more Republican-like or you run as a Republican or in the middle, you will not get them voters. They will always vote for the Republican. You guys are crazy if you think you're going to be able to change their mind. Now, the people that you think are already disgruntled with Trump and MAGA, like those people are going to come over, of course, right? But if you try to ask a Republican, ask them if they regret their vote for Trump. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, they'll say no. If the election was held over again today, would you still have voted for Trump? I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, their answer will be yes. I would have voted for Trump. They have no remorse, no regret. They don't care. They just like being on the winning side. They don't care about anything. So you trying to get those voters are not going to work. The people that you want to get are the unlikely / people who choose not to vote. You want to inspire those people to come out and vote for you. And I like how Jasmine Crockett has stated that you need to get those low propensity voters to come out and vote. Texas is a majority minority state. Now, with the Latino vote, it's a little different because that's not a guarantee that they're going to vote for the Democrat, right? However, if you turn those people out, you will be able to win Texas. You need to turn those people out. Independent and non-voters, yes. I'm in Texas. Shout out to Texas. I'm in Texas, and this is very true. Yeah, you need to turn those people out. That's who you need. If you're trying to get the Trump voter or the white voter, they're not turning out like that. They're not going to come out for you. You might be able to get 1 and 2, but you're not going to get like these thousands, and you're not getting that. Learn to Love Myself said both are good candidates. At the end of the day, they are representatives of Texas. Hopefully Texans don't let outsiders ruin their chance of flipping this seat. Ding, 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 ding. Listen, what's crazy to me is that all these people online have so much to say, and there's about, I think, 20 different Senate races in 2026. And we're just focusing on this one. But the reason why they're really focused is because they're trying to downplay Jasmine Crockett. And they're trying to sabotage her. And it's the same thing that they literally did with Kamala. They literally was all like, Gaza, 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 Gaza. But then let Trump in like he was going to be better for Gaza. Y'all really didn't care about them people over there in Gaza. Y'all, and I don't mean to laugh, but y'all really don't care about them people over there. Y'all need to stop. Y'all really don't give a damn about those people over in Gaza. Y'all using that as an excuse to be anti-black and to hate everybody. Y'all really do not care about them people. And like I said, and I've said this, and I said this a billion times, the average voter does not care about Gaza and Israel. What they care about is better paying jobs, finding jobs. You know, unemployment has gone up to 4.6%. And the job market is shitty. Also, they're worried about the cost of living, the cost of food. What's up, Lady Letitia? They don't care about Gaza. And I'm not saying that we devalue those people in Gaza as, you know, like they're not human, like we throw them away. But when you think of the everyday person and what we need over here, if we're suffering from oppression over here, we can't help nobody else. Hello? If we're suffering from oppression over here, we can't help anybody else. We got to help ourselves before we help other people. You know, these same leftists, they don't care about immigrants. They don't care about black people. They don't care about the LGBTQ community. They don't care about anybody but Gaza, 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 Gaza. It's some kind of virtue signaling that they're doing that makes no effing sense at all. It really don't. Forget the white dump voters. They need to turn out the black and left-leaning Hispanics. They don't usually vote. Texas has a lot of black people who don't vote. Yes, and also Texas has the largest black voting bloc. So, like, they have the most registered black voters. So definitely, if they turn out the black people, they can win it. And here's another thing too, because a lot of people don't think about like the voting rights and stuff like that. The reason why they try to make it so difficult, shutting down different voting booths and, making it harder and those long ass lines. Like here where I live in the Bay Area, there's a voting place like all over. Like we don't have those long ass lines. We're not waiting for this and that. Like you literally go in, do your vote, or you drop off your mail-in ballot and you leave. We don't have to wait hours and hours to get in our vote. Like it's ridiculous how they treat people in some states. Voting should be easy as hell. They try to make it hard because they do not want the power dynamic to change. What's up, Miss Raw? I didn't know you was from here. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the Bay Area. All right. Apathy, discouragement, and disrespectful. Yes. And again, even the people that you think will turn or change their vote, like stop trying to you're not going to get those people. You're not. You need to get the people who decided, okay, I don't really vote because nothing really changes. People don't seem to care. Like you need to get those people. Those are the people that you need to get. If you're trying to get the white/Trump voter to vote for you, you're not. Even the ultra right evangelical you know what the hell I'm trying to say. End-timers are not banging the drum like they used to now. It looks like the end-timers are here. They're not so excited about it. Learning to love myself says, I'm a blue dot in a red state. The majority of people in red states don't make foreign affairs a main concern. We trying to get out of oppression ourselves. Blue states have the luxury. Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. No one cares about that in America. Like those voters that y'all trying to Gaza, Israel, all that, they don't care about that. All right, so I want to go ahead and pull up this video from Jasmine Crockett, a couple of different interviews, because I know she's been criticized for a few things, right? This was regarding the Latino voters in Texas. And of course, Jake, what's his name? Jake Tapper, his punk ass. I can't stand. Remember wrote that book about Biden, his mental decline or whatever. Who cares? He's not the president anymore. And Joe Biden is living his best dementia life ever. Let me not say that. But Joe Biden is living his best life now that he ain't president, damn it. Here we go.
Let me tell you, let me ask you about a quote that you've made that has some Democrats worried about your ability to win statewide. In a December 2024 Vanity Fair profile, you talked about, quote, and I'm going to read a lot of the quote just to put it in the context, quote, all the complexities within the Latino community. The immigration thing has always been something that has perplexed me about this community. It's basically like, I fought to get here, but I left y'all where I left y'all, and I want no more y'all to come here. If I wanted to be with y'all, I would stay with y'all, but I don't want y'all coming to my new home. It almost reminds me of what people would talk about when they would talk about kind of like slave mentality and the hate that some slaves would have for themselves. It's almost like a slave mentality that they have. Now, about the time that that was published last year, around 1 million Latino voters in Texas were voting for Trump. Do they all have slave mentality?
No, and that's not what that said at all, to be clear. It did not say that every Latino has that type of mentality.
No, but the ones that vote for people who believe in strong or Trump's immigration policies.
So I don't believe that the people that voted for Trump believe in what they're actually getting. That is number one. What Trump said is that he was going to kick out the bad guys. And that's what I was talking about. I've been down to the border. I've been down to South Texas. I've campaigned down there. And so I am talking about exactly what was going on when I was down there on behalf of the Beto campaign. In fact, when he was running for governor, I was sent as a surrogate. And I said, talk to me about what is going on. Why is it that they believe that they can win Latinos down here? Like, I don't understand what's happening. And there were people that were saying that they had fought and they had done everything the right way, and that there were bad people that were coming that were doing it the wrong way. And so they were saying, no, we left. And I mean, when you think about people that are leaving asylum, they are leaving areas and situations that they feel like are harmful to them. So yes, they're like, no, I don't want to be in this dangerous situation. And that's what I meant. But at the same time, I knew what Trump meant, because Trump had a record. Trump had a record of locking up kids and putting them in cages. So I knew what Trump meant. And so that's why it wasn't making sense to me. And ultimately right now, I just came from a joint hearing that we were having on the Senate side. It's the Senate as well as the House. The first time I've had a joint hearing ever since I have been in the House. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to Latino American citizens that have been arrested by this regime. Some of those people may have voted for Trump. I don't know. But they agree that what he's doing now is wrong. And it's about right versus wrong and not right versus left. And he sold them a bag of goods. And I knew that that's what he was selling because I knew his record.
All right, Jasmine Crockett, we'll leave it there, but we know you'll come back and answer our questions as you always do.
All right. So now it was weird how he tried to spin that and was all like, oh, so you're calling them slaves? No, that's not what she was saying at all. She said they have a slave mentality. Now, I know in the Black community, we call people coons. You know, oh, you acting like a coon, right? I don't know what they call it in the Latino community, the people that try to assimilate or act white or whatever. I don't know what they call it. And so what she was saying was basically these people have a almost slave mentality because they're all like, oh, yeah, we don't want those. I made it here, but we don't want those people. And it's kind of like, well, how are you going to leave your brothers and sisters behind because you made it? You know, almost like, oh, well, I made it. You figure your own shit out. That's what she was relating to. And so the way he tried to spin that to make it seem like she said every Latino voter that voted for Trump is a slave, yeah, that was disingenuous. Like he tried to play her. And I think also too, I don't think there's anything wrong with calling out the Latino community, especially because of the way they voted. Now, majority of them did vote for Kamala, right? But there was a big shift with Latino men who overwhelmingly voted for Trump. That's where the problem lies. And so instead of having so much distaste for her, I think people, and this is for white people as well too. I think that Latino people need to talk to the men in their family and figure out what's wrong with them, right? But then you also have in white spaces, they'll get online and talk about how we need to do X, Y, and Z, you know, Gaza, Gaza, Gaza. But are you talking to your grandma, your dad, your mom, who are MAGA Republic? Are you talking to them and trying to persuade them? If you can't get your house to vote on the right track, then what the fuck you talking to us for? You know? These same people are sitting next to Tucker Carlson or a Charlie Kirk at their dinner table and want to preach to us what we need to do when you can't even turn your own household, get your own house in order. I mean, you know, talk to your family. Don't talk to us. We got this over here. Talk to your people. You know? I have another clip. And this is when people are talking about the whole oh, you need to the ad. Some people were criticizing Jasmine Crockett because of her ad. They said it seemed very egotistical and like it's all about herself. It's only one ad that she made. Like people were going crazy over this ad. It's the dumbest thing ever, but let's go ahead and talk about it.
Your campaign launch video solely showcases the president insulting you repeatedly. And frankly, there was more content that even could have been shared. As I mentioned, the hate you've received, a lot of the vitriol, a lot of the critique. It didn't include specifically in that video a message about Texas or the issues that were substantive. Why did you choose that approach here?
Yeah, so what I decided is that we wanted to do a launch with the people, and we wanted it to be a real launch. We wanted real people that were going to be there, not anybody's stage, no stage camera, nothing. And so we knew that we would actually get content for from our launch event. And so we have that. I gave a substantive speech about all the things. I mean, I don't think that you can actually bottle them up into a 1-minute video. But we absolutely needed something for fundraising. So for anybody that's watching, if you're checking for your girl, make sure that you visit jasmineforus.com. So we needed something. But I also think that it is telling because here it is. If the president cannot keep my name out of his mouth, then who is it that would be better to make sure that they are in the U.S. Senate to hold him accountable? I am the one that he is afraid of. I am the one that the Republicans fear. They can say that they don't, but my governor cannot stop tweeting about me. And I know that that is out of fear because honestly, if they really wanted me as the nominee, they would be quiet and just wait and hope to crush me. But they know my strength and they know my ability to reach people that historically have not wanted to participate in politics. Or
you think so, EH? They always talk about how she's a hood rat and she's ghetto and this and that. Like, I don't think they consider her uppity.
Had just given up. And that is how we are going to win in the state of Texas. As I reminded people in my speech today, there were those that told a young senator out of Illinois that no one would ever vote for him because he had this weird, funny name that people couldn't pronounce, or because his middle name was Hussein. They told him that he could never beat back the Clinton machine. and somehow he became the first and only Black president of the United States. This isn't about what we can't do. It's about what we will do and what we can do if we just get to work. And so just as President Obama said so many years ago, as someone who ended up becoming president at the exact same age that I am right now, 44, he said, yes, we can. Si se puede. And I am saying the same today.
You have said part of your campaign is Texas Strong. You've also been somebody who has been unapologetic in your approach to the language you have used. You have gone toe-to-toe with the likes of Elon Musk, let alone the President of the United States, let alone Marjorie Taylor Greene, infamously, even going viral on a number of occasions. In the climate that we are presently in, do you have any plans to change your approach in terms of your rhetoric or how you want voters to view it?
You know what? We actually tested for a lot of those moments.
Did you?
We needed to know how they played in Texas. We did. We tested for those moments. And to be clear, those moments played just as well in Texas as they played everywhere else in the country. What we found is that voters moved to me even more. I think it is because it's authentic. I think it is because I think it is the authenticity as well as the strength. I think that people can be forgiving of somebody that gets off script every once in a while if they feel like it's real. They don't want somebody who's just being puppeteered. They want someone who they feel like is a real person. And so, while I know that the goal will be from the other side to kind of get me into sparring matches, my goal will be to make sure that I can inform Texans of when they're being distracted. And I will redirect the conversation to Texans, because at the end of the day, that is the only thing that matters. That is the only thing that should matter. And right now, Texas is not being properly represented. Not when, again, we have record numbers of bankruptcy filings from our farmers and ranchers. Not when we already lead the country in uninsured. Not when, in that scenario, we have a senator that is not interested in making sure that those tax subsidies for the Affordable Care Act are extended. We have people right now that are dishing out death because they refuse to just do what they claim to do, which is to be pro-life. There is nothing pro-life about their agenda. And obviously, our children, they are our future. And right now, the future isn't looking as bright as it should. Laura, you have children.
I do.
And you know what it is to be able to plan for your children to actually go off to school. That light is dimming right now for some.
And the fear if you cannot. Finally, I know we have to go, but I have to ask this because you have filed today on the deadline. There are some who are angry that you had the audacity to be a part of the Senate race. What do you say to those who question your ability to hold the state in a general?
Yeah, I say turn that anger into work. Listen, I'm not here to make anybody mad. I'm here to win. And that's all I got to say about that. So it's time for everybody to get to work. Right now, we know that this primary will be over in 85 days. We are headed into GOTV. It is time to get to work. It is not time to be divided. It is time to unite, because when we were divided, we ended up with Donald Trump. I will do nothing to divide us. I will do everything that I can to unite us and make sure that we win, because a win in Texas is actually bigger than Texas. It is a win for this country. We are talking about a seat that will absolutely flip the control of the Senate over to the Democrats.
So, the thing about Jasmine Crockett is that when she speaks, no one gets confused. Like, we understand there's no word salad, there's no this or that. We clearly get what she means, She's never had a foundational Black American agenda. Oh, here y'all go. Here y'all go. I know I was waiting for you motherfuckers to come. I am happy you motherfuckers is here. Excuse my language, but I was waiting for them because she ain't got a Black American agenda. All she cares about is the immigrants and the gay people. You gonna hear that. All she cares about is the gay people and the immigrants. She don't care about foundational Black Americans. You're going to hear that all the time. They're going to keep running and spinning that. But it's funny because one of the clips that they've been playing to attack her is when she's talking about reparations and she throws out the idea about Black people not paying not paying taxes for some years. She was all like, I've heard about that. She was throwing out ideas and stuff like that. So it was funny how like they try to say, oh, she doesn't have a plan, she doesn't have this. But here's my question. How come we don't worry about the white candidates having a plan for reparations? And when did she say that she was ever anti-Black Americans? When did she ever say that she was against them? When did she ever say like, "Oh, I'm against reparations"? When did she ever say that? I've never heard Jasmine Crockett say that. Right, TT? They doing the same shit they did to Kamala. From what I understand, Stephanie, she is FBA. I don't think she has no Caribbean, African lineage like that. No. Like, how come you not harassing Cory Booker? Harass him. But again, I don't see that person that person drop some facts. Drop something that says like she's against Black Americans. Did she like vote to incriminate? Like the Democrats haven't had power, so I don't even think there's been a vote for any criminal justice bill or anything like that since she's been a congresswoman. And here's the thing too, you guys just run off at the mouth and just talk about things that you have heard. You never talk about things that you actually know. So here we go. So-called Black leaders always put foundational Black Americans in everything, comparing illegals to enslavement, disrespectful to foundational Black Americans. That's not what she said. That's not what she said. She was talking about Latinos having almost like a slave mentality. She did not call them slaves. She wasn't making a comparison. She was making an analogy. That's what she was really doing. It was metaphorically. But Jasmine Crockett has never said, oh, immigrants or undocumented immigrants have the same struggle as Black people. You're misquoting on purpose. You're hearing to respond and not hearing to listen. I don't know what you mean by that comment. What do you mean don't make it about foundational Black Americans? People hear what they want to hear, support agenda. Exactly. What's up, Keita? And that's the other thing too. It's these FBAs that don't even vote. All they do, they're online warriors. All they do is talk shit online. Because have they talked about why Black unemployment has increased since Trump's been in office? Have they talked about the thousands of people who've been fired from federal jobs? Have you talked about that? Or are you worried about that? She said something about a slave mentality. I'm just wondering. Is that what she did? Because I don't think that's what she did. Actually, not think. I know that's not what she did. Let me see if this person will click the link. And by the way, I don't hate you. I don't hate you at all. I don't want you to think I hate you. I just rather not even do that. It's just that so much of what people say is just shit they hear online. They don't actually process anything. So if foundational Black Americans demand receipts, we're wrong. No, but what salute? Fuck the receipts. What solutions are you offering? Really, fuck the receipts. What solutions are you offering? Because I've never heard FBAs talk about a solution. Their solution is always don't vote for the Democrats. Okay, then what do we do? Where are the FBA politicians that we can vote for? Where are they? That's what I'm wondering. Where are the FBA politicians that we can vote for? Who are the people doing the work? How do we make change? Where are those people? Can you direct them to us? I don't see them anywhere. There is none. And that's the thing too, because the FBA, it's supposed to be a lineage. Like I would be considered FBA, right? Because my lineage is America. I've seen Crockett crash out more for illegals than foundational Black Americans, like all the so-called Congressional Black Caucus. Do you know that the Congressional Black Caucus, and mind you, they deserve to be criticized, but do you know they always have a reparations bill? Do you know that they always have something in the works? The issue is that they don't have the power. Now, they do have power as far as like, okay, well, we can hold out for our votes. But even with that, they still have to do for all of their constituents that they represent. It's almost like you guys want to hear like, oh, we're only going to do something for Black people. But the white candidates, you guys never hold them to that same standard. The white candidates can do for Black people just like the Black ones. Right, Ms. Ross. I was just going to bring that up. She's a civil rights attorney. Y'all just want yes, folks. Okay, I guess you're not going to click the link. And you know, and here's the thing about the FBA. I just want to know what's the next step. Like, what's the next? Like, there's never a guide. She must be Miss Barbara. Yeah, that is Miss Barbara's cousin, niece, sister, daughter. No, what's your solution? Don't ask me. I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue. And you know, it's funny because like the thing is, and mind you, the Senate, you do have influence over the whole country technically, but are you in Texas, ma'am? Are you in Texas? Are you going to vote? Are you a registered voter? Are you a registered voter? I just want to know, are you registered to vote? Because I feel like we going in circles right now. If you're not even registered to vote, it ain't even on to us going in circles. Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on because I did a video about Keith Edwards and it was just something about him that always irritated me. And it's now confirmed. He got all sensitive in his feelings and he got called out. So I follow Too Raw, Too Real. We're actually mutuals on TikTok. So he says, Kamala, well, this is what he was responding to. So Keith Edwards said James Talarico is showing what it means to actually run a campaign about meeting voters where they are and persuading them. Not one built on ego and personality. Let's go. That was a direct shot at Jasmine Crockett. Mind you, the woman just announced last week, but y'all expect her to already be leaps and bounds over Talarico, and she just started her campaign. Which, by the way, now that she's joining to the race, she's actually ahead of Talarico in the polls. But I digress. So, Too Real, Too Raw, he goes, Kamala Harris and Jasmine Crockett are two different people. However, calling someone ego-driven and only running a campaign based off of personality is giving misogynoir. Y'all love Jasmine's personality and attitude so long as she stayed in her place. But when she wants to run a race against a white man, then it became a problem. And then he said, "We see you, Keith." And so Keith does this response. Let's blow this up.
Take it out of context. And so I think out of these comments. And so I could write something, but what would happen is after I write it, someone's going to take one word from what I said and what I wrote and take it out of context. And so I think it's so much easier for me to respond right here. And I don't know, maybe this will be helpful. But one, yes, I am a white guy. I am a white guy. I can't control it. I was born this way, and it's something I can't control, okay? I have an opinion about politics. It's what I do for a living. Now, are you saying that I cannot have an opinion about a candidate who is a different race or gender than me? And if I do, and it's critical, it's inherently racist? Because I think what you all are trying to do is just silence any opposition rather than, I don't know, just taking me at my ideas or at my criticisms. Instead, you're saying, oh, he's a white guy and he's being misogynistic or racist. I don't think that's a great way to build a coalition. I also think it's a great way to build a strong and healthy party. I did everything in my power to get Kamala Harris elected last year. That is what I dedicated my year to last year. I wept when she became the nominee, and I wept when she lost. I loved that woman. Meeting her, I got to meet her for literally 10 seconds at the Christmas party last year, was truly just, I'm not going to say a life-changing experience, but it was something that I very much valued. Does that sound like someone who's racist to you? No, of course not. So please stop doing that. Stop calling people racist because they have a different opinion on politics.
Okay, I had enough of him. Basically, what he's saying is like, don't call me racist. I voted for the black lady. Okay, you get a cookie. Oh, wow. That doesn't mean that you're not racist. And here's the thing, too, because he wants to make it seem like it was just black people eating him up. No, if you look at that comment section, they were all eating his ass up, and rightfully so. Not eating his ass like he wants it to be eaten. They ate it the different way, like telling him off. So this is one person said, white progressive, this is a white person, white progressives being desperate to be racist, who's fucking surprised? Another comment, and this is not from a black person. Keith Edwards, it's fine to have a favorite in the race, but you've been actively arguing against Jasmine Crockett running or how she's running. And it's honestly a little weird to me. Usually people are arguing establishment versus non-establishment candidates. But here we have two non-establishment candidates who found their voice in the Trump era with two different approaches that may appeal to different types of voters. Talarico's welcomed Crockett to the race. Why can't you? Another commenter. Oh, so this is what we're doing? What the fuck is your real issue with Jasmine Crockett? Because you can hype Talarico without sneaking a little dog whistle, like not built on ego and personality. Say it with your chest or don't say it at all. You're allowed to like more than one candidate. This fake comparison, shady praise, sideways, hate combo is tired, lazy, and transparent as hell. Then another commenter said, implying that Jasmine Crockett hasn't worked for the people, her constituents, and Americans at large in her actions and policies she stands for, and that her campaign is ego based on personality driven is ridiculous. It erases her achievements and is disingenuous. The same thing happened to Kamala Harris. While she and Jasmine Crockett are also out there talking to Americans about their needs and not on camera either, weird that this keeps happening to Black women specifically. And then someone said, erasure, exactly what's happening. As an active supporter of Talarico, I can tell you whatever this is isn't supporting him. You can lift a candidate up without putting another down. That's not a campaign he wants to run, and this is ethos behind everyone involved in his campaign, down to the volunteer level. I'd like to say more, but I'm biting my tongue because I don't want to misrepresent someone I support. It's easy. And then the comments go on and on. But yeah, he was called out by everyone because it's all like, what are you doing? Stephanie, you're not Black. Why are you up here? Hold on, Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie. Why are you here?
To yell at that Keith guy.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I want to yell at the Keith guy. Cool. No, when he said, he can't control it. No, sir, I'm going to need you to control it. I'm going to need you to control it. Control it. You can control it. Control it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the wrong approach to have. I can't control it. Yeah, you can control it. We're going to need you to control it. Second, that was a real, eloquent dog whistle he threw out there that he's meeting people where they are. What does that mean? That they're not ready to vote for a Black woman and that's okay? Yeah, what does that mean, Keith? Get out there, bye, Keith. Go on, sit down somewhere, Keith.
Right, and it was just weird because it's all like it's based on ego or personality. Like I just don't know what they get. Like, oh, she has like this big ego, like almost like you should be more submissive. Like honestly, it's like, oh, you're Black, you need to be put in your place. That's what it seemed like. That's what the dog whistle was. You need to calm down and be put in your place.
Right. Like she's so bold to even consider running for the office. Like James Talarico, when he came out of nowhere, it's not like he's been on, in the state house, the state, Senate and all this stuff. Like he's been, worked his way up or whatever. He's a newcomer, it's not like he's got this whole like, whatever. Like he's a young up and comer, so it's not like her resume is quite more extensive than his is. So what is this about? Like, right. He's got the ego to basically say that he should be the one to win the election. That's ego right there.
Right. And the funny part is like I said, you need name recognition and you need money. Policy is almost third. I hate to put policy third, but money and name recognition is what you need. Like you need that to win an election. And especially when the other side is going to be packed with money, you need that. Like and I'm not saying that because if James Talarico is the guy, he's the guy. He deserves it. Just like if Jasmine Crockett is the woman, she's the woman. She deserves it. But at the same token, like trying to do this weird comparison, it's just very strange. Like I don't know where these people get this shit from.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I was like. I kind of said that wrong. I think I'm no shade to James Talarico, but just saying like, if it's, I just don't know what they're talking about when they say her ego. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, and the thing is that this is not helping James Talarico. The fact that the fact that the first day that she came out and announced her candidacy, he had to release a statement telling everybody to show her respect. Like that's wild. And I'm not even blaming Talarico at all. I don't think he has done anything wrong to anyone. I'm just saying he realizes that there's a problem with his supporters. The fact that he did that the first day and had to make a statement lets you know everything you need to know.
Right. I think it was very coded to say basically like Texas is going to be more comfortable voting for this guy for the obvious reasons.
Right, exactly. Because he's white, a Christian, like, and they're all like, oh, he can get those voters. Like, even the white people cannot get those certain voters to flip or to change. Like, this whole you need to be meet MAGA where they are, and like
Right.
at the end of the day, a Republican is going to vote for a Republican. They're not going to be like, oh, well, that Democrat seems a little
Absolutely.
Republican. Like, I'm going to vote for, like, they're not going to do that. Like, it's the dumbest thing. You want to bring out your coalition, like the actual people that are more likely to vote for you. You want to get them excited and, you know, aspire them to come out and vote for you. You don't want the people who are not going to change their mind. Once their mind is made up, their mind is made up.
Yes, and again, I mean, well, I shouldn't say that. But you know, if it's and this is not about James Talarico, it's about his supporters. If they're saying like he can, you know, bridge that gap, build that bridge, whatever, you know, is that just another example of basically? And it's not about his qualifications; it's just about what he, you know, what he represents, etc. You know, that kind of shit. Is that just another example of us pushing white mediocrity? I don't know. Just say it so. Just say it. You know, just ask the question.
Right. That's, you know, I have to ask that same question. Like, you know, what I don't understand what makes him so qualified, considering that she has the larger stage because she's in Congress. He's a state representative. And I'm not saying that state representatives aren't important, because your local politics are very important. However, you know, what makes him more qualified than her? Like, I haven't got that the exact answer, like why he's more or why he's better than her. I don't know that answer exactly. Besides the obvious stuff that we were alluding to, right?
You know, it begs the question, right? It begs the question. It's it's that silent part. Nobody say it out loud. But you gotta say it out loud. You gotta say it out loud, right?
Right.
So, but anyway, I just want Keith to know that I'm gonna need him to control it. You know, find a way.
Yes.
Find a way. Ask God, pray for it. You know, he'll help you find a way. Because you can't find a way. I'm gonna need you to control it.
Oh, Stephanie, I'm about to get in trouble for this, so I'm gonna leave you up here for this part.
Okay.
That's why I say,
got
Stephanie, this is gonna be controversial right here. I'm telling you. I don't know if you want to stay up for this. That's why I say the most dangerous people are white women and white gays, because they can play both sides. They can be oppressed or they can be the oppressor.
And they will. I had to
hide for a minute.
And they will. They can
go both ways. That's
hey, I love it when a white woman goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, Stephanie, thank you for coming up. The one person want to come up. Okay. Thank you for coming up, Stephanie. I appreciate you. And you never casted me or super chatted me for all them F-bombs yesterday, but it's okay.
Yeah, I got you. All right, bye.
Okay. All right, bye. Okay. And Miss FBA, I'm not gonna yell at you or anything. I just want to have a conversation. You ain't got to worry about screaming and yelling. We just gonna have a conversation. Oh, we already at the hour mark? Oh, dang. Okay. We'll go another 10 minutes if she clicks the link. Texas, yes, that's another thing, TT. Texas is one of the largest non-voting. I'm an Air Force veteran. Oh, shout out to you. Thank you for your service. Yes. You need to get those people. Ursha. Oh, see, I thought that was trying to say user. It's Ursha.
Ursa. It's Ursa World.
Hello, Ursha. Thank you for coming up.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Good. Go ahead first.
Well, no, okay. Well, I'm on. So, did you have a question? Did you have a question?
Okay, well, I wanted to ask you because you said Jasmine Crockett is for the illegal. She's not for black people. She has done nothing for. Well, I don't want you to put words in your mouth that she does nothing, but as far as the crime bill and a few other things that you listed,
The anti-black crime bill.
okay, who started that bill? Like, where is that bill? Who's the sponsor?
Kamala passed the anti-Asian crime bill, but see, it was Trump. Okay, hold on. It was Trump that okay.
Go ahead.
Oh my God, I can't. Okay, there's no use in me even being here.
No, you listen. I want to hear from you. So
okay.
You said that.
Oh, well, it's a double. So anyway, so when COVID hit, Trump was the one that were blaming Asians, saying it's the China virus. But they turned around and they said that black people were beating them up and whatnot. And Kamala passed that anti-Asian crime bill, and it cost like $1 million. You know, that's the first thing that they did. Now, when Biden ran, he ran on prison reform, and he did not do it. They do this all the time. They get our votes and they don't do anything. Kamala Harris was in Milwaukee over and over, but they never do anything for our cities. Our cities are dying. The illegals, they gave illegals billions of dollars in 1920, 23, and 24. We got nothing. Those people came into Chicago and they ran roughshod on the South Side. So I'm very, very angry, yes, with the Democratic Party. I'll land my plane on this. Bye.
Oh, that's all you had to say? Oh. All right. Okay. I guess. All right. It's funny because that was like the typical stuff like I thought it was going to be. So I'm not surprised. So a few things. She was like, I'm letting my plane by. I was like, okay. All right. So a few things. One of the common misconceptions is the Asian hate crime bill. It actually is called like the COVID something bill. Like it's not called the hate crime bill. So basically any hate crimes or attacks against anyone related to COVID, that's actually what it's about. So yes, Asians were the ones that were mostly being attacked for that, but the bill covers everything regarding that, right? Regarding all the billions, did she say billions or millions? I don't want to misquote her. I think she said billions given to illegals and stuff like that. There's a certain pot for that money, right? When it comes to what we give to people that come over here through the border and stuff like that. Because when they get here, they can't just work. So they are given housing, they are given food and stuff like that when they first get here because they can't work. The reason why they can't work is because legally through the asylum program, they have to be vetted and go through a court system. They have to, go through the courts, paperwork, and all of that before they can actually start working. So they will, if they come over here through asylum, through the legal channels, like, yes, they will be taken care of for I think 3 months or something like that. And I know one of the arguments is like, oh, how can we take care of them, but we don't take care of citizens? Let me just tell you that even if we got rid of that and said, okay, we don't give them anything and they just come here, they're not going to give us that money. I think that's one of the common misconceptions. A lot of people think oh, if we don't give money to this person, that person, or this person, one of the things is oh, Israel, we give money for their health care. We don't give Israel money for their health care. So at the end of the day, even if we stop giving them money, they're not going to give us free healthcare. They don't want to. They're even talking about this whole, oh, we'll give you money and you go out and shop for your own healthcare. You guys heard about that, right? That's Trump's new idea. You're not going, yeah. So you're not going to get that money. We're not going to get free healthcare. Also, it would have been Congress and then the Senate who passed that hate crime bill. I don't think that had anything to do with Kamala Harris, but I see what the confusion is because Kamala Harris ended up running, even though she was the vice president, and the vice president doesn't exactly, they're a part of the administration, but technically it was Biden, but you know. And then what else did you say? Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Doing the same thing, expecting different results and stuff like that. And let me tell you something. That frustration, it's valid. It's valid. We've been doing the same thing and then not getting results and stuff like that. But as far as results, what do you mean by that exactly? Because what's the other option of not doing anything? Because I always wonder, what exactly is Trump offering? Like, what are we getting from him that would help us? I never hear that answer. Like, what is he offering us? Or what is your solution? Because I heard complaints, but I didn't hear any solutions. And it's all like, okay, you can throw things out there, but what's the solution? Like, what do we do next? What would you like us to do? Because are the Republicans offering, better health care? Now, I will say that they stopped a lot of the temporary status, which a lot of them immigrants are realizing, like, oh shit, that means that my wife who I married, she's gonna have to get sent back, or my husband or whatever, right? But like, did the funding for asylum seekers, did that stop? The border is not closed. A lot of people think, oh, Trump closed the border. No, basically, he just made it harder for asylum seekers to come over here. But he didn't build a new wall. It's not like he hired more agents to get rid of, let me not say get rid of, but more agents to stop people from crossing over the border. Like, it's not that at all. They got a lot of criticism, but no solutions. Ain't nobody learned nothing from the past election. So say we gave them billions of dollars, right? What's the solution to that? What's after that? What do we do next? Or what comes next? Because even if they stop, you're going to be in the same position. So what policy, what is it that, what bill? Just like the one, you said something about like a crime bill or something like, and I said, well, who sponsored that? Like, when did that come out on the floor? Because did Jasmine Crockett vote no for that bill? I've never heard of that bill. Now, there's been criminal justice reform bills in the past, yes. But was there something recently, or did you just hear that from somewhere? That's what I kind of wanted to get to. Where are you hearing these things from? I see the woman migrated messing with them babies, and what are you talking about? Only what you like? Trump gave $40 billion to Argentina. Yeah, Well, don't expect your most loyal constituents to vote for you. Okay. Right. It's a form of soft power, diplomacy. Immigrants help us not end up like Japan with the dwindling workforce due to low birth rate. Yeah. Ursa, you're not helping your cause. No one's talking about the multi-billions given to corporations, welfare to do. Yeah, and like the defense bill, the defense bill for the Pentagon, we spent a lot of money on that. And it's way more money than any money that any undocumented immigrant is getting. Okay, I don't think Ursa want to talk to us no more. But thank you for coming, Ursa. I appreciate that. I thought Ursa was gonna cuss me out. I thought Ursa was gonna drag me, but Ursa didn't. So I appreciate that. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the show right here. We at an hour and 15 minutes. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Stephanie. Thank you for coming up. But that's the end of their show, y'all. We out of here. Deuces, everybody.